1. Keep the spotlight on you. A lot of the time we lack confidence because we start over-comparing ourselves to other people. And what you find time and time again is that the most confident athletes solely focus on themselves. Perhaps the best and funniest at this is Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who among many other things has said before that lions don't compare themselves with humans. Now I appreciate he's tipped over from confidence into arrogance there, but the overarching point rings true. A lot of the time there's just no point in comparing yourself to others. Everyone is on their own journey or pathway and they have their own strengths and weaknesses. There are of course sometimes as an athlete where a little bit of comparison is necessary. So say for example you're competing for the same spot in the team as someone and you need to compare yourself so you can actually recognize, well, what are their strengths and what are their weaknesses so that you can then maximize what you can bring to the table. But on the whole, comparison just ends up making you feel crap. Instead, you just have to take more deliberate efforts to keep the spotlight on yourself. You always hear the next big thing in sport get compared to the greats who have come before them, but the very best athletes say, I don't want to be the next whoever, I want to be the next me. Adopting this mindset just stops that self-doubt from creeping in, which is something that too often can erode your confidence. 2. Control the controllables. I bang on about this one probably every 5 videos, but it is so important. I think particularly when it comes to improving your confidence as an athlete. Because when you think about being unconfident, a lot of the time, that only occurs because you feel like you don't have control over something. But those who appear super confident always seem super assured and in control over a situation. They have a say in what's going to happen. Confidence is simply about knowing that you're ready to put in a top performance, or knowing your opposition doesn't have what it takes to handle you. But look, when it comes to sport, let's not lie, there are plenty of things that you just can't control. The weather, the state of the pitch or court, or if you've got a dodgy stomach in the morning of a big game, these things will knock your confidence a bit, don't get me wrong, but the way you counteract this is to bank as much confidence before by essentially collecting what I call controllable credits. Bit of a shit name, I know, but bear with me for a moment. So what this means is listing out everything that you do actually have control over and then ticking those off one by one to start accumulating credits. For me, I've always been a touch on the neurotic side before big sports performances, when I was younger playing football and now when I do running races. And I end up just thinking about all these kind of what ifs and things that can go wrong. And this damages my confidence. So what I do to counteract this is as many different things that will give me a better sense of control overall. I used to love doing a recce of football pitches or now running routes. So if I was playing somewhere fairly nearby, I'd get on my bike a few days before the match and ride out to the location. First, this was to find out how long it actually takes to get there, and I could calculate times and also factor in traffic. Then I'd have a walk along the pitch or running route, start making a mental note of any rough patches on the pitch or any dodgy turns. Or if the location was too far away, I'd just get on Google Maps and view it that way on the street view. For me, this made me feel a lot more in control because it removes some of the what ifs, like what if the pitch is too narrow, which was always a concern for me because I was a winger when I was playing football. So by knowing this stuff and finding it out, I then had greater control of how I could adjust my game. So think about gaining some controllable credits when it comes to your sport. If you're someone who doesn't like these uncertainties and they chip away at your confidence, this is a great way of just giving yourself a bit more assurance, and so that you can plan and then feel more in control and subsequently feel more confident with what you can do when it's game day. 3. Celebrate small wins. Confidence is not this magic binary state where you either have it or you don't. There are levels to your confidence, just like in a video game where you get XP and then you level up. That's the same with confidence. It operates more on a scale, and to start tipping towards the more confident end of the scale, you've got to make more of the deliberate effort to actually celebrate the things that make you feel confident. You see this all the time in professional matches or games. In basketball, a player makes a block and their teammates chest bump them. Or in football, the goalkeeper who makes a save they had no right to get to then gets swarmed by their teammates with high fives and hugs. It's not the actual act of the block or the save that builds confidence, it's the reward of celebrating it. This is a key principle of habit loops, and the simple recognition of something that went well or was successful acts as a form of positive reinforcement. And a really good practical thing to start doing on a daily basis to gradually build your confidence is to keep a success journal. So this is a variation of the well-known technique gratitude journaling, which was originally developed by Dr. Robert Emmons, who through his research and work with clients found that getting people to write down 3 things that they were grateful for each day lowered symptoms of depression and increased a whole host of people's positive emotions. So the success journal is exactly the same, but instead of writing about 3 things you're grateful for, instead you write about 3 successes that happen to you each day. So it could just be bullet pointing even the most practical, simple things like making 6 serves in a row during practice without faulting, or instead spending more time to write out a few sentences about experiences throughout the day, such as, today's nutrition was a success. I remembered to load up on extra veggies at the canteen and didn't take the extra cookie. And the purpose here is to start reframing your experiences as an athlete. One reason we sometimes lack confidence is because we're always chasing the next thing, and we make ourselves feel inadequate until we reach it. So celebrating these small wins and recording them on a daily basis just allows us to actually see that progress is gradually being made. And that in turn is going to lead to those good, consistent, gradual increases in your confidence, which is far better than those momentary surges that disappear just as quickly as they came about in the first place. So what else do you find helps boost your confidence as an athlete? Let me know in the comments below. Another thing that I think is really key is to develop a growth mindset. So check out this next video here to find out more.